In 2019, Adam Curtis Williams' vicious crimes ignited an international manhunt.
James Butler III and his wife, Michelle Butler, were found in a shallow grave on Padre Island in Texas.
He terrorized women.
You physically, mentally, emotionally scarred me for life.
Tried to kill cops.
When I open the door to get out, I'm going to shoot this lady in the head.
No doubt about it.
No, this is what was going to happen.
And left an innocent couple dead in his wake.
I'm just thinking, just die already. Would you just die?
Oh, very compelling. It's Court TV's award-winning series, Interview with a Killer, back for another new season. Joining us in studio to tell us all about it is the host, David Scott. David, new season kicks off tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 2-hour premiere. Killer Adam Williams, his first ever interview. Well, let's talk about, first of all, this guy, and we'll talk about all of them, because, man, you've seen and met some crazy people. Let's talk about this guy. Just that little clip gives, raises the hair on your neck. What were your observations, and just kind of fill us in?
Yeah, well, I think, I've done 16 of these interviews now, and I think he is the most intimidating figure I've faced so far.
Really?
He's a big, powerful man. He's covered head to toe, including his scalp, with not just tattoos, but kind of inked warnings not to cross him. Former member of the Aryan Brotherhood, former member of a violent biker gang. This is a man who's, meted out, so much brutal battery, both inside prison and outside. He can't even keep track of it. And so even behind glass, he cuts an intimidating figure. He's also the killer who, I think, lets me inside his head the most, which is really a scary place to be. But that's where the answers are. This case never went to trial. He's never said anything about these crimes. And that's why we're doing this show. Because sometimes the answers only can come from the perpetrators.
Yeah, when you walk into a maximum security prison, is that the goal, to try to get in the head of the individual you're interviewing? And then what are your tactics to accomplish that? Because I'm imagining not a lot of people don't want anybody in there.
Right. Yes, that is the goal. This show is about probing the mindset and motivations behind their actions in this case, in their case. Sometimes they admit it, and it becomes a kind of conversation to sort of, just elicit what they were thinking at the time, why they did what they did. Sometimes they deny their crimes, and then it becomes an exercise in holding them to account and holding their feet to the fire. But the process is intense. These prisons are combustible places. Usually, the inmates will outnumber the guards by many times, sometimes 40 to 1. The guards police these environments, mostly unarmed. And they are responsible for supervising the worst of the worst. So even before you sit down with the killer, the adrenaline is pumping. And then we look into the eyes of people like Adam Williams and try and fish for answers, and then we let the viewer decide, what they think about whatever spin the killer is spinning.
Well, you allow us, the viewer, to go inside the mind as well through you, which is fantastic. Let's take a look at another clip from Williams talking about how he chose his victims.
A lot of people have like a false sense of security. You never know who you're going to cross paths with. And ultimately, it ended up taking their lives.
The Butlers were about to cross paths with Adam Curtis Williams. Their next stop would be their last. At what point did you first spot the Butlers and their truck and trailer?
Okay, so they were camped next to us.
Armed, dangerous, and desperate for a new ride to flee to Mexico, fugitive Adam Williams scanned Padre Island looking for a mark. And then one pulled up onto the beach right next to him with a gleaming pickup truck and trailer.
After I got the gun, I would literally drive up and down the beach at night. looking.
Looking for a mark?
You know, and to be in total honesty, I was looking for like an older dude by himself.
Had you met the Butlers at that point?
So the day that they pulled up, we interacted with them. Yeah.
You met them on the beach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you kind of make friends with them? Use your charm to lure them in?
No, not at that point. At that point, I was so high and just in my head trying to figure out what I was going to do. Cops had showed up and knocked on the trailer door and woke us up. And it was like, hey, your 2 weeks is up. That's it. So that was just like the breaking point, right? 2 nights before that, me and her had gotten in an argument about the Butlers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the argument?
She wanted that trailer.
She wanted their trailer?
She didn't understand. If I was going to kill somebody, why just take a truck? Why not get a truck and a trailer? Because our trailer was not like all that, right?
That's what the newlyweds are arguing about.
Right, yeah. Twisted, right?
So when did you decide to rob and shoot the Butlers?
The next day, I agreed.
Agreed?
Yeah, I said I'll do it.
We reached out to Amanda Nover to hear her side of the story, but she declined. The Butlers, did they do anything to offend you or piss you off?
Absolutely not.
All the opposite?
They were very nice people. The day that we were arguing about killing them, James was running around playing racing and stuff with Ryan. It was totally innocent. I was just, in my mind, I am justifying what I'm about to do. 100%. I'm like, oh, look how he's showing too much attention to the kid. He's a weirdo. And I'm going to kill him because
You're
of that.
ascribing to him that he was being inappropriate?
No, he wasn't at all. That was so I could do it.
Here they are just being nothing but kind to you guys. And unbeknownst to them, you all
They
are
had no
plotting.
idea what was really going on.
Oof. Interview with a killer. Boy, this dude is, he's like, oh, he's clinical in the way he's assessing what he was going through and just spitting it all out.
Yeah, you know, they say sociopaths kill for expediency, right? He needed the truck and the trailer. It didn't matter that he had to take their lives. And so he brutally slayed them right there on the beach.
Most of the people that you interview, I would suspect, want at the end of the day to either sort of win the interview or have people walk away and think, you know, they're pretty nice people. They just, you know, do you get a lot of that where people are trying to sugarcoat and say, well, from my perspective?
Yeah, I think, you know, we talked about both ends of the spectrum, but in between, there are a lot of people that want to come on and just soften the severity of their actions. They're not saying they're innocent, but they want to just appear to be less culpable, less evil, if you will. And so they'll point the blame to accomplices to try and sort of reduce their own culpability. We get that. We get a lot of that.
And he kind of did that with the wife there with the trailer, but because he said, well, I agreed to do it.
Right.
Police.
Right.
And for you to combat with them, do you have to be careful to keep the conversation going? Do you have some people that are like, I'm out?
Well, you know, the hardest part of this whole thing, you'll appreciate as a journalist, is the clock. Usually we're on like a stopwatch, you know, we get exactly 60 minutes, usually. We got a little more in this case because we just got lucky. But usually it's exactly 60 minutes, and in that time, you have to penetrate the defense or the spin, unspin it, and at the same time, you know, keep them engaged because they can get up and walk out at any time. That is their right. So we generally start with a kind of, you know, backstory pod. They're usually red flags that are portends of the, you know, the crime and the criminal to come. And then we move on to tell me what happened that night. And I make them recount and relive their actions beat by beat, like in a TikTok. And then by the end of that, we're ready to just, you know, hit them with the big
why.
picture questions. Yeah.
Yeah, and what led to all of this. This is the Saturday is a 2-hour season premiere.
That's right.
Looking forward to the other episodes. What should we expect?
Yeah, we have an interview with Rachel Wade, who your viewers will remember. Court TV covered this trial. This is a teenage love triangle where a then 19-year-old girl plunged a knife into the heart of her 18-year-old romantic rival. After months and months of feuding back and forth. Well, she's always maintained that that was self-defense until our interview, and I don't want to spoil it, but we actually advanced that story, I think, in a significant way. It's the case of Rachel Wade.
Yeah.
We have another tragic teenage murder of the mother of the former girlfriend of a young man whose heart was broken and he couldn't handle it, and he. We believe, killed the mother to punish the ex-girlfriend. We do our first street drug dealer who kills a customer for running afoul of the street code at the time. And then there's a fascinating case of murder by absentia of a young woman who conspired with her boyfriend to rob her uncle. The two men wound up shooting and killing each other. She was charged with capital murder under the felony murder rule.
Wow.
So that's the lineup. New cases, new killers, and lots of questions for them.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show, and I know our viewers love it, and anyone who watches it. It's the problem with your show is, once you start watching, you can't stop. So you waste a lot of time watching David Scott. The interview.
That's a good problem.
Yes. David, thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Ted, very much. Great to see you, man.
All right. We're going to get a break. Don't forget, tomorrow, season premiere, Interview with a Killer, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on Court TV. We'll be back. After this, head back to New Hampshire. Stay with us.